cleared history. My name is Carrie Rosick. I'm a proud alum of this great institution, the Associate Athletic Director, Senior Women Administrator for the Department of Athletics. I also had the profound pleasure of serving on the screening committee for this esteemed appointment. Through an extensive national search, the screening committee was charged with finding the right fit for our institution. I believe it is fair to say the process was very challenging, but also extremely rewarding, as we vetted a lot of high several quality candidates. However, the individual that will be introduced to you today continued to rise to the top of the list. I would like to personally take this moment to thank Mike Alden, who assisted our committee through the process. His experience and expertise were extremely invaluable during this time. Thank you, Mike. Additionally, I would also like to thank Dr. Benson, who allowed our committee the autonomy to evaluate numerous candidates and valued our feedback. Thank you, Dr. Benson. So at this time, I would also like to welcome the president of Coastal Carolina University to the podium, Dr. Michael T. Benson.
Good morning and happy Teal Tuesday. It is Teal Tuesday, you all know that. And I want to commend Team Miller for coming appropriately dressed and all their friends. So we're so delighted to have you all on campus. Thank you very much for being here today. To begin with, some thank yous. First, thanks to Matt Hogue and his 30-year-plus career at CCU. He's not going anywhere, and I'm very happy to report that the Matt Hogue Sports Media Hub will be up and running in no time. I also want to thank his wife, Laura, and their daughters, Rachel and Caroline, for their commitment to our community and to this campus. Matt's in Omaha, as you know, a place where we all want to get back to very, very soon, as chair of the Division I Baseball Committee. Carrie did thank Mike Alden, but I would be remiss if I didn't mention also Coach Joe Moglia, who helped throughout this process. He's in his homeland of Ireland with his entire family for the next couple of weeks. Thanks to members of the search committee. I'd like them to stand as I introduce them, if they would, please. First, our VP for HR, Tom Kazera. Also, Carrie Rosick, our Senior Women's Administrator. Drew Kurlowski, Chair of the Faculty Senate. David Sage, a CEF board member and a longtime supporter, and more importantly, husband to Marla, our dance team coach. Where's David? Is he here? Oh, okay. Well, he's doing taxes, so those postponements. And also, I would argue, probably the most important member of the committee, a recent student-athlete graduate, Avery McElwain, a star of our lacrosse team, who's from Georgia, who was incredibly committed and came to every single meeting, either on Zoom or in person. I want to thank the committee for their outstanding work. Thank you very much. You'll soon meet the singular candidate who raced up to the front, just as Carrie said, in very short order with every single group with whom he interacted. I also want to thank members of our Board of Trustees and University Foundation Board members who are here. Could I please have them stand up? Board of Trustees members and Foundation Board members. Thank you. And most importantly, the reason we're here, thanks to Team Miller. Chance, I'll let you do the honors of introducing your family and your friends in attendance. As a father of 5 great children myself and 1 amazing wife, I've always loved being with kids, and especially watching them interact with older people. Our kids have done this their entire lives. You won't find 2 more amazing, outgoing kids than Kason and Kaylor. We may have hired Chance as our ID, but we really just did that to get Lauren and the kids. Speaking of Chance, the reaction across social media and in the press has been universally acclaimed with this hire. My favorite post on X was from Reddit College Football, which boldly stated last Thursday, and I quote, "The new Coastal Carolina AD is literally named Chance." So just so we're clear, the correct pronunciation is how they say it in the south of France, Chance. So, Chance, do you want to be bold and today change the pronunciation of your name? Or will we have to endure this mispronunciation and enable people to say our mascot's name really incorrectly on and on. It's entirely up to you. This is your really first big decision. Chance. In all seriousness, in my 31 years of working in public higher education, there has never been a time like this in our industry and specifically in athletics. Every day, it seems like almost every hour, there is another tectonic shift in the collegiate sports landscape. We needed a director of athletics with experience and vision. Exhibit A, Chance Miller, or if you prefer, Chance Miller. Committed family member who married way up and has really cool kids. Check. Legal background with experience practicing law in both New York and South Carolina. Check. Experience at the NCAA with compliance and regulatory investigations. Check. Sport oversight for a major revenue generator, football, at a Power 4 institution. Another check. By the way, this responsibility included creating one of the best game day environments in Columbia for fans and teams anywhere. Check. Unmitigated commitment to our number one priority, student athlete success and all that that entails. Check. I'd like all of our student athletes to please stand that are here today. All of our student athletes. About a big hand for our student athletes. Chance, I know I don't need to say this. This is why we're here. You're also being adopted into a great group of coaches and staff. I'd like all of our athletic staff, coaches, support staff, please stand. This is your new family, Chance. Ringing endorsements and support from every single person I called and with whom I spoke. Check. Persistent engagement with the fan base and community. Another check. Vision for what a place like Coastal Carolina could be and where we could go. Check. I could go on, but you get the idea. We got the complete package with Chance and his family. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in giving a very warm CCU welcome to our new Director of Athletics, Chance Miller.
Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you for this opportunity. All right. Well, good morning, Till Nation. How's everybody doing? I love seeing all the Till on this Till Tuesday. I have learned that. I want to say, wow. This is an amazing opportunity. I'm honored to be up here in front of you today. I want to start out by saying a lot of thank yous. And if you could, bear with me. I told my friends and my family last night that this would probably be the hardest part, is getting through all those. And then once I get through those, we're going to talk about what we're going to do here at Coastal Carolina. I want to first thank President Benson, the search committee, the Board of Trustees, Mike Alden, Joe Moglia, the faculty and staff and coaches and the student athletes that I was able to meet with throughout this interview process. It was so thorough, and it helped me realize that this was the place for me and where I would be successful. And I want to personally thank you, President Benson. This has been my dream since I was in high school, and I get to stand here today for it, and you made that dream come true, and I will forever be grateful for that. So, again, it's going to take me a while to get through this, but you've given me a microphone, so settle in, okay? I want to thank my lovely wife, Lauren. Lauren, stand up. I'm going to embarrass you for a little bit. So, yeah. So Lauren is the CEO of our family. Without her, nothing in our family runs. She sacrifices a lot to be able to help me live out my dream. We are high school sweethearts. We have been together for 24 years. And as of last Thursday, when President Benson called me to offer me this job, it was our 15-year wedding anniversary. And what a way to celebrate that. So, Lauren, I've drug you all over the country trying to chase this crazy dream, and I appreciate you. And I love you. So, for my children, Kason, Kaylor, thank you for going on this wild ride with me that is college athletics. You don't know any better. You were born into it, and you were born into this lifestyle. And it is a lifestyle. It is not a job. and they have always been willing to be there, come to every game, practice, and event. And I will tell you, you will see my family at everything. We will be invested into this program. You will see us at practice, at games, at recruiting events, at fundraisers. And I think you could already see it this weekend. We jumped in the car after we found out we were coming. We came down here, and we were at the recruiting weekend for football all weekend, thanks to Coach Beck and his staff for making us feel welcomed. And then even went to a pool party at Tammy and Jim Scott's house with Coach Gray and his staff and his family. So we're already hitting the ground running. I want to thank my parents. Thank you for always fanning that flame and that passion of sports. I can remember my first ever game in a big stadium. I was 4 years old. I drugged my parents to that game. It was 104 degrees outside. People were passing out everywhere. I think the mascot passed out too. And I made them stay until the last second. And I think it was then that they knew I was both crazy and invested into sports. And I want to thank my mom too for constantly hitting my sister and I over the head with the pursuit of education. Where we came from, education was not that important, but it was important to my mom, and she drove that into us constantly. And that's something I've taken with me in that pursuit of education. As a first-generation college graduate for my family, I've tried to instill that in my kids as well. And I've been blessed with the fact that I was able to take that pursuit of education and my love of sports and marry it into a career. So thank you. I also want to thank my sister. I know she couldn't be here right now. Chelsea, if you're watching, love you. I hope you get better, and we're rooting for you. To my mother and father-in-law, Jack and Sarah, thank you for letting me take your daughter out 24 years ago and drag her all over the countryside in pursuit of this dream. Jack, I know it probably wasn't easy for you to drop your daughter off in New York City in our shoebox apartment of 275 square feet. I don't know if I would have done that with Kaylor, but I appreciate you let me do that and pursuing that dream. I want to thank my friends, Lauren and Neil Treslow and their beautiful kids, Gunnar, Harper, Emma, and Peyton. You guys have been wonderful friends that we met in Columbia, and we vacation together. We do family holidays together. And if you ever want to see a crazy group of people, follow us to Disney in our group of 10. Okay, it's wild. It's a wild adventure, but wouldn't do it with anybody else. So thank you for being here. It means a lot to me today. To my South Carolina family, my staff members, and my colleagues and friends, it's been a great 11 years. I can say there's several of you here today that made the trek over from Columbia. I really appreciate it. That means a lot to me. I will tell you, I know it wasn't always easy working with me. I've got some crazy ideas and crazy dreams, and it took a lot of long work, blood, sweat, and tears. But man, did we do some special things there. So I thank you for that. I also want to thank Ray Tanner. Ray Tanner couldn't be here right now, and I will tell you a story about that in just a second. But Ray has been really good to me in my career. And as an athletic director, I couldn't have a better mentor. He saw something in me when he hired me as assistant AD of compliance, brought me in, and somehow figured out that I could run that athletics department, and gave me the opportunity to learn what I needed to be able to stand in front of you today. So I really appreciate him, and I can't thank him enough. He did call me Sunday when we were driving back to do laundry and try to grab a teal tie for today. And he said, you know, I'm going to come to your press conference on Tuesday. And I said, well, Coach Tanner, thank you. I love you. But, you know, you're supposed to be at the State House approving that project that I've been working 3 years on. And in the most Coach Tanner way and the loving way he does, in his gruff voice said, well, I guess I'll just clean up your mess again, but good luck. All right. I also want to thank Matt Hogue. Matt is a good friend of mine. And Matt was the first person I called about this job. I wanted to know from Matt, what was it like to work at Coastal Carolina, and how were the people? And I can tell you, he raved about the people, the community, and the university. And I knew right then, this is a job that I needed to pursue. I want to thank him for building the foundation, and what a great foundation he has laid. I want to thank him for the success that he had and for the facilities. What great facilities we have here, and great new facilities that are going up with the indoor football practice facility and the soccer stadium. But looking at all the things that Coastal Carolina offered, I also looked at the growing population here, the growing enrollment, the tourism and thriving tourism that surrounds this area. And once I started really digging into it, I looked at it and said, you know what? This is a premier job in college athletics today. I saw the room for growth. I saw the potential. So as I started looking at it, I looked at what President Benson has shared in his vision and his strategic plan. And I saw the 3 pillars that he had out: learning, living, and legacy. And I couldn't have been more fired up at that point, because I've spent the last 11 years doing those same things at South Carolina, and I knew I could bring them here. So you want to talk about learning? I've worked for 11 years to create departments within the university that could help grow the departments and the university, but also help athletics. Worked with the colleges on campus to develop classes, and I even taught a couple of classes, which I don't know how well, but I taught them. But that's something I really want to bring here. The living part, being able to take the faculty and the students and really ingrain them in the day-to-day workings of the athletics department. That's important to me, that the university and athletics department are one, and we're all moving in the same direction. And I did that at South Carolina, and I know I can do it here, and I look forward to doing it in the future. You want to expand that reach, and that's the way you do it, by bringing everybody together and working towards a common goal. And then the third one, legacy. When I saw legacy, I was really excited, okay? And legacy is leaving it better than what you found it, and building the infrastructure to be able to have sustainable growth and help not only the athletics department, but the university grow. I can tell you guys, and you can ask the staff that have worked with me for years that are here today, I have audacious goals, and I told that to everybody on the search committee. And those goals are out there, but we will get there, okay? It'll be a lot of work, it'll be a lot of time and a lot of effort, but I promise you, we will get there. If I have to speak it into existence and outwork everybody, I will do that. And I do that through 3 ways. I do it through building a culture where everybody in here, from the student athletes to the coaches to the staff to the faculty to the board, are all in on that vision and that goal. And I do it through collaboration. I'm a big collaborator. I want people at that table buying into what we are trying to do here. I want it within athletics and the university, but then outside of it as well. I want it with the local campus leaders, the local leaders of Conway and Myrtle Beach, the governor, the state leaders, and everybody else that is involved in this program. And we will do that. And the third one, and the one I love more than anything, is we're going to innovate. I love to innovate. I love to be the first one to do it. And that is more important than ever in this ever-changing world of college athletics. We have to be nimble and we have to innovate, and we will do that. I promise you. I want people to look at Coastal Carolina and say, how in the world did they do that, and how do we copy it? And I want to tell you, after looking at your strategic plan and your pillars, I was more fired up than ever to come here on my interview. And when I came here, it only reinforced that this was the place for me. I got to meet with you, the Board of Trustees, faculty, staff, and others, and I saw and felt the passion and where you guys want to go. You want to build, you want to innovate, and you want to move this place forward in a direction that it has not been. And I'm excited for that. I'm excited to work alongside of you and to be able to do things that no one else has done here. And after you offered me the job on Thursday, we jumped in the car on Friday, packed up the kids and Lauren, and we came down here, and I thought, you know, we're going to try to meet as many people as possible. Because while I was sold, I needed to have Lauren and the kids buy in too. And I will tell you, President Benson and your lovely wife and kids made us feel so at home this weekend, and I really appreciate that. Coach Beck, I love the culture you have over at football. He came down, all of his staff came down and gave us a hug at the stadium. We walked up, there were recruits there, and he handed me a mic and said, let's go to work. And we spent all weekend together. And then on Sunday, like I said, we got invited by Tammy and Jim to come over to their house for Father's Day. And I know Tammy and Jim can't be here today. We're thinking about you and praying for you, Jim. But invited us over to meet Coach Gray and his staff and their families and their student athletes. And wow, what a moment. I mean, we were there for 4.5 hours. That's why I've got the suntan line. I sat out there and baked. Kelly and I sat there and talked for a while in the sun and then realized we could probably get in the shade. Probably should have realized that a little sooner and wore my kids out. But your student athletes and your staff were wonderful to my family, and I really appreciate it, and I look forward to working with you guys in the future. All right, I will try to wrap this up, but like I told you, you gave me a mic, so I like to talk, all right? To my coaches, if you could stand up for me real quick, all the coaches here. I'm going to make it stand up again. Here's my promise to you. I am going to be, and you will find this out, I am one of the most competitive people you have ever met. I love to win, but I hate losing a whole lot more. And there's only one person that I have ever seen that is more competitive than me, and I helped create him, and my son, Kason. Okay? I promise you that we are going to sit down and we are going to work together, and we are going to find what you need to compete at the highest level in the country. I'm going to find what are those things and what are those resources that you need, what are the barriers and the hindrances are, and we're going to get creative to find out how to fix those and move those forward. So keep me at my word, all right? And I will tell you, Kelly with CAF, and then Jimmy Fugger, is he here with Coastal Sports Collective? There he is. All right, Kelly and Jimmy, we're going to hit the ground running. We're fundraising soon, okay? And that starts this afternoon. All right, we're going to get these coaches and these student athletes the resources they need, and we're going to grow this fan base, this donor base, and this community. All right. All right, now, for my student athletes, where are my student athletes? I see some of them over there. I saw some of them at the pool. I did see one of them that my son dunked on at the pool. He's been talking a lot about that one. I see. All right, to my student athletes, you are the heartbeat of this athletics department, okay? No doubt about it. You are the reason I and the staff here and the coaches have a job. And I want to take the resources that have been given to you, I want to expand upon those resources, and I want to build new ones. I want to make you successful both on the court, the pitch, the track, or the field, and I want to make you successful off of it. I want to make you well-rounded individuals that graduate from this great institution, and you want to come back and you want to provide your time and your resources. So I look forward to being around. You will see me at all your games. You will see my family there. We'll be at your practices. My son will try to challenge you in everything you guys do. Good luck to you. He's already beaten me on the court and on the field. And lastly, to the fans, the donors, the alumni, and the community, I can promise you this: there will be no better fan experience and fan engagement in the country, okay? I told the search committee this: I don't have hobbies. This is my hobby. This is my passion. This is what I want to do. My friend Neil can attest to this. We take our boys to Panthers games and Braves games, and I love spending time with my friend and the boys. But he can attest that I look around and I try to see how the concourses flow, how concessions operate, how the fan experience is, and I will take those and implement them here. And I've done that in the past. If you've ever been to a Saturday night game at Williams-Brice Stadium, it's pretty electric, okay? And they told me, don't change that 2001 entrance. I'm going to change it. And I changed it, and I changed it for the better, and we will do that here. And it'll be an exciting place to come. And anytime we engage with our fans and our community and our alumni, you will feel welcomed here. So, in closing, I just want to say, I love the state of South Carolina. We've been here, 11 plus years now. It has been great to us. My kids were born here. And I am now blessed to not have to move, although I'm moving jobs and taking the big role. I don't have to move out of the state. And I can come to a thriving region in the state that I love. We vacation here and we know people here. And I can grow the relationships that we have built in this state to help grow Till Nation. The best days of Coastal Carolina athletics are ahead of us, and I am honored to lead you there. Thank you, and go Chants.
Well done, my friend. We're ready to go, brother. You ready? Yeah.
Chance, we are ecstatic to have you here with us. I know you all are eager to have a word with the man of the hour, so I will not prolong this event. I'd like to take a moment to invite our media affiliates to transition to our media room, where you can go ahead and get set up for a Q&A with President Benson and Chance Miller. And also at this time, there will be opportunities for photos here at the stage following the event. Just want to thank you all for attending, and thank you, Chance, for choosing Coastal. Chants up. Have a great Teal Tuesday, everyone.
Before everyone disbands, could I get the trustees come on up here? We have a special photo that we'd like to make together. I see Vice Chair Hannah. Come on over, Natasha. Chance, come on up. Here we go. Number one, Chance Miller. Chance Miller. There you are. There you go. Come stand right here. We'll get right here. Put him right in the middle. There you go. Okay, we'll turn that around. Oh, Lisa, Leah. You see okay? We good? Oh, there you go.
Do one with shots up and
There you go. Shots up. There you go. Oh, other side.
I'm not falling in the potholes.
Chance, Dave Ackert, WMBF. First question, I think it's a unique area. You mentioned it, kind of the tourism, and you've been here to vacation before. Everyone always talks about the NIL, getting things going, but it seems that Coastal Carolina has a unique advantage that most schools don't. What about that maybe drove you here? Just thoughts on that in general.
Yeah, Dave, good to meet you too. Look forward to working with you. That's one of the things I talked about it in my press conference and talked about it on the interview process. You look at the growing enrollment, you look at the county and the area is thriving. I mean, more people are moving into it than ever. And then you look at the tourism industry all around us, and there are a lot of opportunities, a lot of untapped opportunities that I think can really help our student athletes. And it's not just putting our student athletes in touch with them for sponsorships or NIL deals, but it's looking to try to use our facilities, especially with the new indoor being built and open soon, our football stadium, the arena here, and others that we can bring outside events and attract things here to Coastal Carolina that will generate revenue that we can put back into our student athletes, into our coaches, and into our facilities. And that's something I've been doing at South Carolina for a while now, is utilizing those resources. And they have a game coming up on August 3rd where we convinced the two best Premier League teams in the world to come in and play a match, and that was money that we were going to direct back to our student athletes. So there's no reason why we can't do the same thing here at Coastal Carolina.
Chris.
Hey, Chance, Chris Bergen, Chanticleer and Sports Talk Media Network. Obviously, I think you could have probably been comfortable at South Carolina and stayed there for as long as you wanted. What was it about this opportunity that brought you to Coastal?
Chris, pleasure to meet you too, and look forward to working with you. South Carolina's been great to me, and I told everybody in my press conference. Ray Tanner was a wonderful mentor. He allowed me to really run the day-to-day of the athletics department. I was able to hire coaches, build departments, bring in staff, and build a culture that I thought was good for South Carolina. And after 11 years, I wasn't looking just to leave for anything. A lot of people in this industry, they want to be an AD just to be an AD, right? I wanted to be an AD at the right place with the right fit, with the right leadership and the right resources around me that I could be successful and the university and athletics department could be successful. And I can tell you, being 2.5 hours down the road for a while, I watched this program and I watched this university grow. I watched the success that was happening here. And I always told Lauren that if this job ever came open, this is one I was going to run to. And I was going to make sure we had an opportunity to get this. And I'm excited about the opportunities and the growth that we can have here. And I can't say this enough. On this interview process, meeting with President Benson, the Board of Trustees member, and the staffs, I could feel how fired up they were to be able to take this to new heights. And they've assured me, and I'm excited to work alongside of them, that we're going to get there.
For Dr. Benson, obviously, sounds like you made a fantastic hire. Chance has been great so far. Can you just talk about the excitement of coastal sports right now? I mean, you got the soccer stadium getting set to open up soon, the indoor practice facility. It's really an exciting time for you, and I know how big of a sports fan you are. Just an exciting time here at the university. Can you just kind of talk about everything that's happening going forward here?
Well, first off, I'm delighted to be the undercard to the varsity today because Chance is the real deal. And when I talk to people, I called Commissioner Sankey. We talked for 30 minutes about Chance and his reputation in the SEC, his experience, particularly as it relates to facilities. And he mentioned that huge kind of mammoth facility they're doing up in Columbia around the football stadium and kind of mixed use. We don't have anything quite like that around where we are because we're somewhat landlocked, but still in all, you mentioned the indoor practice facility, soccer. Pretty soon we're going to break ground on a new track facility across 501. I continue to create an Olympic sports complex across 501. Continue to improve Brooks Stadium, a new scoreboard's going up, ribbon boards. We're going to do a new apron at baseball and finally replace the softball chairs in the stadium. So there are a lot of projects that, yes, we have to fund internally or through all the resources. Some we can do with the pending sales tax. And you'll be hearing about what I call a generational project on the corner of 501 and University, a convocation center that can host, yes, our men's and women's basketball teams and volleyball, but high school tournaments, high school graduations, a venue where a graduation ceremony for every one of our colleges doesn't have to be seat restricted. You can bring everybody. because it'll have 8,000 seats in it. So Chance is going to have I've told him he's going to sink his teeth into that project, and we hope to break ground in 2026 with penny sales tax funds to fund that project. So stay tuned, because you get one shot at a piece of land like that, and that's going to be the entryway, kind of that front door into our campus, and draw people into the center of campus to get more involved in other programs. But really excited to welcome Chance and his family and turn them loose on some of these projects we have planned.
Danny Kelly with the Benson Courier. Just, you mentioned, President Benson mentioned that project, just, that, and then you have the indoor practice facility, soccer complex, just, those, and just what are you mentioned that you wanted to, get started on projects, as soon as you got here, just what do you kind of have in mind for things like that?
Yeah, Danny, it's a pleasure to meet you. I look forward to working with you. That's what really fired me up and I wanted to take this position, because President Benson had talked about that convocation center, the new track, the indoor football facility opening up. And I think that gives you a lot of different opportunities, not only resources for your coaches and recruiting, but for your student athletes as well. But then to utilize that in other outside events that can really help this university, this athletics department, and this community grow. And I want to impress upon everybody here, that is my mission, is to help not only the athletics department, but help the university and this community grow, okay? It's a thriving community, and we want to be a part of that. Lauren and I and the kids are excited about it. You guys are going to see us around a lot. We're going to be in the community a lot, and we're going to be out knocking on doors and trying to get people in here.
Joe Katz from the Chanticleer Sports Network and Hot Talk 99.5 here in the Myrtle Beach area. Nice to meet you, Chance, and Dr. Benson, a frequent guest on the show of ours as well here in the mornings. There's a lot of garnet and black sprinkled throughout the state legislature, purple and orange. A time or two you'll see a teal shirt pop up every now and then. Given your experience, obviously in Columbia, and your diverse background, how do you hope to leverage, some arms, in the legislature and elsewhere across the state to expand us? We're the cash cow of South Carolina here in the Myrtle Beach area. How do you utilize your experience to, make it known that we're not only a little brother, but we're going to, compete with the best of them here in the state?
Joe, it's nice to meet you, and I look forward to working with you and being on that podcast here soon. So, you talk about the state legislature, and it's split between the Garnet and Black and that school from up north. I still can't mention them, right? But I'll tell you, I spent a lot of time at the State House, and Coach Tanner and President Amaritas really allowed me to go up there and build relationships with the House and Senate members from this state. And those relationships aren't going to go away just because I'm here. And I can tell you a lot of them have already reached out and asked how they can help us here at Coastal Carolina. And I'm excited to be able to still spend some time with them, find ways that we can move forward. But what's exciting about this, taking a new job, especially the AD job, usually you have a little bit of time to figure out the state processes and the state leaders and the things that, will trip you up. Those are things that I've spent every day for the last 3 years doing. And I'm confident in my abilities to do that and to be able to take what we have done at the State House when I was in Columbia and be able to implement that here at Coastal.
For President Benson, I've only been here for 2 years, and we've already seen a new football coach, a new baseball coach, a new basketball coach, now a new athletic director. Maybe just thoughts on what's going ahead forward with all those new faces and all the different programs here.
Well, as you drive through campus and you see construction projects, I argue that those orange cones, while they're somewhat inconvenient for a period of time, signal progress. I would also argue that when you get new, fresh faces and some turnover in really important areas on campus, that also signifies progress. We value our employees a great deal. We also welcome those new faces to campus that have had experience at other places. Chance talked about going and visiting campuses and stealing good ideas and saying, why can't we implement this? And I love it when we hire new folks, they say, look, at my institution, previously we did this and it worked beautifully and it worked well. Let's try it here. So I see it as a continual kind of improvement process that fresh faces, new perspectives can do nothing but help us propel forward.
And kind of a follow-up for Chance, just you mentioned you met Tim Beck. Any other head coaches you've met, and first thoughts on the staff here?
I have. I've met quite a few of them, and I think the staff is very impressive here. And that was one of the other check marks when I was looking at, is this a place that I can be successful? Coach Beck was wonderful, his whole staff. We go back a little ways. His agent and the offensive coordinator and defense coordinator, their agents, used to invite me for the past 4 years out to Birmingham to do mock interviews of up-and-coming coaches. And so I've actually interviewed all of them. I've sat down with them. I've kept in touch with them. So this was a nice welcome to come back and see them here and see them ready to go. And then, like I said, we went over on Sunday and met with the men's basketball coaching staff and spent a lot of time with them. And, man, that impressive people. And I told Coach Gray, I grew up in the SoCon region near ETSU, so I watch a lot of SoCon basketball. So I got to see him, and he reminds me a lot of Coach Paris that I had a hand in help hiring at South Carolina that in year 2 took us all the way to the last game to win an SEC championship. And I'm excited with Coach Gray and his staff and what they put together. And then a lot of the other coaches have reached out. I've talked to the baseball coach, the soccer coach, the golf coaches, tennis coaches. I'm trying to keep them all straight at this point. Honestly, it's been a whirlwind. I told President Benson that 3 hours after it was announced, I looked down, and I think I had 980 text messages. And then the emails, and I tried to open social media at one point and just shut it down. I said, I don't know if I can do this just yet. But it's been exciting, and just the welcoming that the staff has provided me and my family has been absolutely amazing.
We got time for 2 more to Will now.
Chance, my name is Will Dinkel, WPDE, class of 2019, Sean's up. In your up there, you mentioned the importance of fan engagement. Can you kind of go into that and talk about what you have planned? I know you probably can't divulge everything, but the importance of it and what you might have planned for the student body. Yeah, Will, a pleasure to meet you, by the way. Look forward to working with you. I told you guys in there, I don't have hobbies, okay? That's my hobby. I really like it. It fires me up. I love the fan engagement. And I tell people all the time, it is hard. You cannot control what 18 to 22-year-olds do on the court, the field, the pitch. Once they get out there, it is what it is at that point. But what we can control in the athletics department is the time a fan comes to a game till the time they leave, okay? It also is the time that they call in to engage with your athletics department and university when they have issues, when they have problems. So it's looking at all of those touch points, right, and making them better. My family and I think I said it in the press conference, we're big Disney people. And it's because my kids love the magic of Disney. My wife loves the rides, but I can tell you, I love how they interact and treat people when they walk into the door. And I've taken a lot of that stuff. I've stolen it from old Walt Disney and tried to implement that at South Carolina. I think we can implement a lot of that here. And just walking around, I see some things that we can do in the stadium, in the arena, at the baseball stadium, the softball, that will be able to help us move forward. But really want to sit down with the staff and Dwayne and Carrie and others and figure out what are those pain points that we can help fix moving forward.
Okay, Dr. Benson.
You inherited Matt as your AD, so now that you've had an opportunity to hire one yourself, what traits were you looking for, and how does Chance meet those?
Well, I said what I said about Matt. Great friend, committed wholly to this university, and really excited to see how the Hogue Sports Media Hub develops, because as I told him, I wanted to model it after the Newhouse School at Syracuse. So soup to nuts, sports production, train our students in all aspects of reporting, producing, all of that. And Matt, I can't think of anybody better qualified to do it than Matt. I wanted an AD, we wanted an AD, and I sat down with the trustees, sat down with the search committee. I checked them off on my introductory remarks about Chance really did check all those boxes. Someone who's had the experiences at a bigger school with sports supervision like football. Someone that had an advanced degree is really important to me because he can help with the contract side of things with a JD from New York University, New York School of Law. The fact that he's passed the bar in New York, which is one of the hardest bar exams in America, and they asked him to take it, sit for it here in South Carolina to help out with the department, and he did it. That's going to be a huge benefit for our department. The fact that he's worked at the NCAA, the fact that he talked about the #1 priority is our student athlete experience. That's it. That's the only reason we're all here today is those student athletes that have that name on the front of their jersey that represents something bigger than any of us. We'll be here for a season, as the Bible says, but then we move on wherever that is. But our job is to make it better. And I wanted an AD that had had experience other places and seen what is possible. He talked about the potential here and how we can tap into that and make this the best, I would argue, the best group of 5 program in America. I had several people reach out to me and say, this is the best athletic director job available right now. And I would agree. And we got the best candidate.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Good job.